Hey everybody, Unstable Gamer here, and welcome back to another Disney Sorcerer's Arena video. In this video, we're going to be diving into the full Frozen team and showing you everything you need to know to master that team. But first, before we do, if you're just now finding this channel and you want to stay up to date with this and other games, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out. All right, and welcome back. So the Frozen team, it's been out for a little while, and we do have the full team. Let's go ahead and just jump into that team really quick right now. And we're going to be doing a few different things. We're going to be talking about the team itself, which I think is a very, very good team. I think it's a fantastic team. We're going to talk about a character that you probably don't really need in there, and some alternates. We're also going to talk about placement, so there's a lot to discuss with this team. But this is the full team. I got them all up to at least 5-star, and I am working on getting everybody up to a gear tier 5. So I've got what is this guy's name again? Sven. Thank you very much. Oh my gosh, Sven, almost a 5. And then we'll get Olaf here pretty quick as well. Was able to get Kristoff here up to a 5-star. So let's go ahead and just jump into the team really quick, talk about their strengths, and there's 3 really critical ones. Obviously, we have Kristoff. Kristoff is your tank. Great tank. He's got a lot of utility. His basic is great, along with Sven. The synergy within this team, I think, is absolutely fantastic as well. So with his basic right here, if Sven's an ally, then he's going to assist, which is great. You got that extra, damage there. And there's some spells we're going to talk about that I highly recommend to use with this team. As far as abilities go with his basic, if you have the material, I would go ahead and max out his basic, get that damage increase right there. The troll here really doesn't do a whole lot, and I find that because of the spells that I'm using, I don't use the troll as much as I thought I was going to, but you do have the troll. I will max it out so I can give that additional 10% damage just to see what that looks like, but there's really not a massive amount of damage there. But when the assist kicks in, it definitely helps. Now, with his taunt here, you definitely want to get that level 2, get that +1 taunt duration, because the longer you can keep a taunt on Kristoff, the better it's going to protect the rest of your team. As far as the passive goes, I go a little bit light on that. I'm not really going to work on level 2 or level 3 right now, because I really don't want my people to die. I don't want my characters to die, so I don't want to have to use this. I will eventually once I get to that point, but as you can see, my betas are very, very low, so I'm skipping this one for right now. So that is Kristoff. If we go into Elsa, if you're going to dump your ability runes into any of them, I would highly suggest dumping them into Elsa and into Anna. And it's Anna. I was corrected. I said Anna last time. I told the person who corrected me, I said, all right, I'll correct it in my next video. All right, so basic is great. I would max that out, get that +1 maximum chain amount, and get that additional damage there, because a lot of your damage is going to come from Elsa. Now, as far as this one here goes, guaranteed to gain haste. I think haste is great, and when I'm able to, I'll max this out and take it out to a level 3, because again, I want to max out Elsa's damage, because she does a massive amount of it, and it comes in very handy. But this one right here, specifically the haste, Anna helps a lot with that. So I skip that and I put more into this one right here. I max this one out first. You got your damage. You got your 10% bonus chance to inflict stun per helpful effect. I was really going for that damage. When I put into abilities, I want to go for sure things. So I did put in through this just so I can get that extra damage boost there. And then as far as the passives goes, again, I did this as well, because at the start of each turn on use and on use of a special ability, you really want to get her spirits up to a maximum of 4 to really kick in that extra damage. I wanted to get that extra damage here as well, so that's why I maxed that one out. And then this one here, grant haste to Anna. Grant haste to allied Anna for +1 turn. Definitely want to do that when I'm able to, but that wasn't critical for me. It was really taking advantage of the damage that Elsa does. So now jumping into Anna right here. So for her basic, I did max out that first two. I will max out and get that additional damage. But I like this. If assisting teammate is frozen, your whole team's frozen, then they gain offense up for, it says plus is 0 turns. But they gain offense up for 1 turn. So I like that. It's a 100% chance to get that offense up, and I think it works pretty well. So that's why I went ahead and did that. As soon as I can, I will get that additional damage. This one right here I thought was very important as well, and as soon as I can, I'm going to go ahead and take this up to level 3 as well. But +1 to haste duration. Again, these types of games, haste, speed, it is absolutely critical and can turn the tide of battle. The more opportunities you have to attack, the less opportunities your opponent has to attack, the more opportunity you have to win that battle. So +5 to speed meter increase per helpful effect. Obviously, I'm going to want to hit that, so I'll get that as soon as I can. All right, this one here. So I do want to get the level 2 +1 duration and the +5 health restored per frozen teammate. I do want to get that. That's just a little bit lower on my priority list for right now because, again, it's kicking in the damage. It's getting the haste up. That's what I'm really focused on right now. But as soon as I can, I will max this ability out. All right, so when it comes to Sven here, so on the basic, I went ahead and got the +20% critical strike, and I'm going to get that +50% damage dealt. He is a offense character. He's not a support. He is offense. So that critical strike damage is increased by 20% for each attack. You also do damage is increased by 10% per frozen teammate. So having that full frozen team really does help. This I like. I did skip this, the healing piece. I will get in there. It's a 30% chance to gain additional guaranteed crit. Really not massively focused on that because it's a percent chance. I do want to get to that +20% health restored, but where my abilities are, I really have to focus more on Kristoff, Elsa, and Anna at first, and then eventually, you know, when I have enough time and when I have enough ability materials, we'll go ahead and max them all out. All right, so this one right here. So +15% chance to gain helpful effect, +5% chance to gain helpful effect as well. But if the teammate's Kristoff, this character is guaranteed to gain the effect, and that's really what you're focusing on. You can increase this. It's going to take it from a 20% chance to what, a 45% chance. And again, it's not a for sure thing. Sure, it'll happen more often than not once you get it up to 45. But as far as those beta runes, there's better places for me to put them right now. So I'm holding off on that one. And then this one right here, 30% chance to gain offense up for 2 turns when assisting. Again, that's a 30% chance. It doesn't increase anything that I currently have. So again, on this one, I'm waiting as well. I have better abilities to focus my runes on. Now, this character here, this is kind of a character that's kind of up in the air. I do like reducing the target speed meter, so I went ahead and put into that for the basic ability here. For right here, I didn't put in anything additional right here because, again, as I've mentioned, Kristoff and Anna and Elsa really are getting most of my attention when it comes to the abilities. We go into this one here. Same thing here. You inflict your charm. Charm is nice. It is nice, but 50% chance to gain evasion, 25% restored health. It would be worth it to get down to that restored health, but again, other abilities take priority right now. And then finally, on this one right here, +5% chance. You're going to add a +10% chance to revive. And the revive here, if Elsa is a teammate, then revive is a 50% chance, which is great. You max this out, it's going to take it to a 60% chance. I'm not really focused on his revive. It's a nice mechanic. Then the revive's a nice mechanic. The charm is a nice mechanic, but it's nothing that really, in my experience so far with this team, has really turned the tide of battle. So this is the one character that I think is really up in the air, and you can swap out. And we're gonna swap out this character for a couple other ones. But when we go ahead and jump into the team, which we are going to do right now. So this team here, we're going to go into Club Dungeon. And we've got, I've saved all my battles so we can go ahead and do a couple different ones. I've got all of them up to at least level 40 or higher. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do here. So let's talk about placement. This is the placement that I recommend for this team, and the reason is, so I put Anna in the middle. Now, when she uses her second ability, she's going to give haste. You want to give haste to Elsa. I even want to give haste to Sven. I do not want to give haste to Kristoff. Kristoff is a tank. You give him haste, then he's going to churn through his taunts much faster. I want his taunts to last as long as possible, which means I want his speed meter to be as slow as possible. So that's why I put Anna in the middle. I put Elsa and Sven in the back, and then over there Olaf. I don't really care to haste his abilities because he doesn't really have anything massive that I'm really absolutely going to need. One of the variants, even one of the variants that I played around with, doesn't need the increase in speed either. So this is the team. When it comes to spells, I recommend the Bucket of Soldiers, and I recommend Peter Pan. The reason why is because you want to use Peter Pan a couple different ways. Number one, I just increase how many Svens there are so that we can increase the assists on Kristoff. Now, what you can do also is duplicate Kristoff, and then you get 2 times the assists there as well. So we'll play around with that a little bit. But this is the recommended layout. You can swap sides, but as long as Kristoff and Sven are on the outside, you got Elsa and Sven in the back and Anna in the middle. I think this is probably the best setup. So let's go ahead and jump into battle. All right, so here we go. Now, at the start of battle, the first thing you want to do is get the spirits on Elsa up as quickly as possible. So just burn through what you can. I'll go ahead and do my taunt right off the bat. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give the speed up there to Anna first and foremost. Then I'll go ahead, I'll use this right here. Boom, I'll do my AoE attack there. That gives me my ×2. Remember, we're trying to get those spirits up to ×4. I'm going to go ahead, let's do this. And then Anna, she's going to come around now. I'm going to do her speed right here. So now I'm going to grant haste to self and adjacent teammates for 2 turns. She just keeps this haste up, and that's what you really want to focus on, is keeping her haste up right there. Plus grant 1 magic ability for all abilities to adjacent teammates. So that's going to be Sven and Elsa. Now, Sven doesn't really use it, so it's really Elsa that benefits from that. So now we're at a ×3 on Elsa. Now we're at a ×4. Now we've got her to her 4 spirits, so we get her empowered state, which does the additional damage and the little extras that we get here and there. All right, so I'm going to save this AoE. So we're going to go ahead. Boom, there's that nice assist. I just really use basics for him. And again, I don't use the troll too often. We'll use the basic, which is the guaranteed assist from Sven. Boom, there's Elsa's right there. And I do like this because I like this chain effect, because if empowered, perform a follow-up attack, you're going to deal 410 damage and chain to 1 to 3 enemies. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, and then the quicker you can get her to empowered, the better. Let's go ahead and do this. Boom, look at that. Nice, we got all 3. I am going to use the charm. I'm going to use the charm while we can. Boom, we got that continuous healing on Kristoff, which is great. We're going to go after... All right, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to add a copy of Sven, so now we're going to get some additional attacks, plus the assists work on the bucket as well. So let's go ahead, watch this. Love this. Boom, boom. All right, we'll do, okay, this, and then we'll do Anna's. Oh, well, we're going to take these guys out first. Boom, look at that. Boom, and the bucket assist. I mean, you just do so much damage there. It's really, it's a fun team to play around with. And this is also the reason why I don't use the troll, because I have Sven, I've got the bucket. As I get more, as my spell, as Peter Pan's Shadow allows me to continue to replicate Sven or Kristoff, I'll continue to do that and fill that battlefield. All right, let's go here. So let's do a variant now. So I'm going to take out Olaf, and I'm going to throw in Dash. I think I've heard the term Frozen Dash or something like that. So let's go ahead, throw him in there. And I throw him over there because he's got a high enough speed as it is, so you're not going to have to rely on Anna to haste him. Now, I could swap him with Sven because Sven doesn't have any abilities that require magic. I could swap those, and that would give him that +1 magic, but he works really well this way. Boom, charged. Let's do the haste right there. All right, I'm gonna do this. Boom. Now I do need to play around with it a little bit more and get these guys up just a little bit higher because I've gone into arena and I'm at a point where my 5-star characters here, my 5-star team here is going up against 7-star teams. Now I did time out battling a 7-star team and I did keep a couple of characters on this team alive while I did that, but I timed out and I lost. So just the fact that that this 5-star team can time out on a 7-star team just kind of tells you how awesome this team is once we get it up to 7-star. All right, what do we got here? Boom! Love that damage. There we go. Let's go ahead and do this because I want to chain as much as I can. There we go. That ice block. All right, let's do this. See if we can get up to 10. Yep, we did. All right, round 3. Now, I did take this team at its current level through campaign, and I was able to 3-star campaign battles, 10 levels higher than what my team currently is, which is pretty cool. All right, let's do this. All right, let's bring the bucket out. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and copy Kristoff this time. Let's do this. And this. We'll go ahead and... No, we're going to not do that. We're just going to do the basic. Boom, there's that assist. And the soldiers take the clown down. All right, so we got that done. All right, so there's a couple battles for you. So there you go, everybody. That's what I had for you today. The full Frozen team, my suggestions as far as abilities and placement, and even throwing Olaf out and putting Dash in there. I would suggest playing around with that 5th character. Try to find out one that really that you like to play around with. Now, a few other characters that I have played with in place of Olaf, obviously Dash. I've thrown Zerg in there, and I've also thrown Violet in there. And the reason why I throw Violet in there is for the additional the additional defense. Zerg, obviously, because of the massive damage that he does. All right, really interested to hear your thoughts. I know there's a bunch of other videos out there on this as well. Definitely let me know in the comment section below. What's your favorite thing about this team? What's your favorite variant? And I had a question about Anna being part of a Kingdom team. I think that works out fairly well because of her haste. I'm just playing around with kind of a composition of what that new Kingdom team looks like. All right, everybody, that's what I had for you today. As always, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time.